Okay, it's been a while that the level has been out. Let's take a deeper look at it to show off some of the new mechanics and discuss the level design. Most of the new mechanics are tied to stealth. The first room is pretty straightforward. The enemy is an easy enemy, he's facing you, and when you climb up he tries to attack you. Rooms like this already existed in level 2. This next room is just a twist on the previous one, and said twist showcases the first new mechanic. The enemy is facing away, and if you simply climb up, he won't aggro. This allows you to easily kill him from behind, for example. Just like the player, enemies are killed instantly with a back attack. I'll probably have some kind of execution mechanic in the final game. Of course, it's completely possible to simply run past him. We added a slight delay to comms becoming active on site, so they wouldn't be able to attack you in time. In Prince of Persia, your every footstep makes noise, which alerts guards. Unless you slow walk the whole way. Having silent running was a very deliberate decision by me, and I think it'll make for a much more fun stealth experience. Now in classic Prince of Persia, if you ever had an enemy like this, you're pretty much stuck. You get attacked as soon as you climb up, then fall back down. Because of the time it now takes for my guards to become alert, it's possible to climb up and fight them. This removes a bunch of bugs and makes level design much easier, and I wasn't even trying to fix this. In the next room, just some falling tiles. Nothing really new or strange here that you'll find just by running through it. I'm reminding the player how they work. Once again, we have an enemy facing away from us. Of course you'll remember these guys are a free kill, but this room has another twist. Players who simply jump down will realize for the first time that they make noise, which alerts the guards. Instead, players can lower themselves from the ledge, allowing them to land silently. Deliberately making noise or not making noise will definitely be a consideration in some of my levels. The next room has more falling tiles, and breaking them is a requirement to progress, but I've laid out the room such that falling down reveals them to shake from afar. This teaches the player that their body weight can be used to check for loose bricks on the current map. The next room simply has a key, which doubles as a checkpoint. Savvy players might have noticed there's been no door yet, but merely approaching the key reveals a hidden passageway below. This teaches players that falling bricks might even hide screen transitions. This screen demonstrates a different kind of stealth. Down there is a difficult enemy who we can fight if we simply lower ourselves. However, jumping to the other side dislodges a brick which can crush him. I'm quite fond of the idea of using platforming to bypass combat, and I'll try and make different routes through the levels which feature more combat or more platforming respectively. Another room with loose tiles, however this time you're coming at them from below. Any player should hopefully figure out that you can dislodge them just by bumping them. They do no damage falling on the player, unlike Prince of Persia, and in the final version of my game, I'd like an animation of the player character catching them and dropping them or something. I think it's silly to dislodge something and hurt yourself with it as the default outcome. This is a very similar map to the previous one, however this time there's no tile to drop on the enemy. Of course, you can fight him, but the room design is intended to show off another new mechanic. That the player character can be a falling projectile. Anyone who did the combat demo should know to be pretty afraid of that guy down there. There's a lot of ways through this room, the most immediate way is to simply take the top route. However, I perfectly placed that enemy so that a running jump will land on him. Here's the final room with enemies. If you took the top route, it couldn't be easier. This room is mostly a reward for players who beat the level, with me trying to give you a satisfying conclusion to the stealth you've been using by killing 10 of my hardest guy in a few seconds. The door at the end is literally just to ensure you're still in the room until you see them all die. And the final room is the exit. Of course the room is still trivial if you took the bottom path, although maybe somewhat more intimidating. Now the player can systematically kill them, which I'm sure is a different kind of satisfying for some of you. Like the second level, the third level has achievements, viewable by hitting escape. The first is pretty simple to find, although maybe not so easy to do. You simply have to beat the level in a low time. The second is a bit more complex. You have to beat the level without killing enemies. I was very deliberate in having a bypass for each one, though you do have to wrestle your way past this first guy. The third is the most cryptic, but you might have guessed it if you've been following along with my other videos. As with the other two levels, I hit a bird in this stage, in a loose ceiling brick early in the level. Accessing the map he's on gives you the third achievement. And you can also talk to him, but if you want to read what he says, you'll have to open the demo and talk to him yourself. Anyway, thanks to my volunteer playtesters. Going forward, I think I've got enough that I'd like to work on my prologue level, which means I'm going to need to make graphics for my player in my environments. I need to find a pixel artist who knows a quick and dirty way of making simple sprites from rotoscope footage, or at least someone who can tell me how much effort it's going to be and how much it will probably cost. I haven't actually tried to find anyone yet, so that's next on my list. Feel free to reach out to me if you have some input. Once the prologue level is done, I'll include it and a combat tutorial in a proper alpha build, and probably set up some kind of GoFundMe or Kickstarter or Indiegogo or something, so I'll be able to show off my actual ambitions for the project. It's quite exciting to be making some real progress.